I'm wearing my heart glasses in honor of Valentine's Day. But
I
I
thought it was
can't.
in honor of my Volkswagen.
Or in honor of Ian's Volkswagen.
You're
There's
starting to,
Ian.
you know what they say? The car starts to look like its owner.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
It's Valentine's Day this week, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm wearing my heart sunglasses. I won't wear them the entire chat because I can't see much. And I need reading glasses. Hello, hello. I call these my Valentine's Day / Kurt Cobain glasses. So hello, can you guys hear us?
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yay.
Check, check.
Awesome. Well, we're going to get to business. We're going to get to work.
How many people waiting? 80?
There's 164 people here.
Well,
Hello.
I apologize in advance to every one of you for what you're about to witness. Sorry to waste your time once again.
I'm putting on my reading glasses. Hold
But
on.
seriously, thanks for being here.
Whew,
Yeah.
there I can see now.
Do you want to start off with any other discussion? Ooh. Oh, no, we're in a commercial right now.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching the monitor. Let's let the commercial pop up for a second. Let's see what's happening.
Hopefully we don't have any blackouts. Whoa. As you can see, Ian and I like our glasses.
I left my serious guy glasses at home, so we're going with what we have.
Oh my God, there you are.
All right. Oh yeah, Chuki Hand knows what's up with the shirt. You want to say what's up to Laura and Alan?
Hello, hello.
Because you got to check out SoFab. Because they are SoFab.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, it looks like a lot of people are here. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hopefully we don't have a blackout like last week.
It was verified. YouTube glitch. Jamie found
Yeah,
out.
so I think that's what happened. I took the app off my phone, re-uploaded it because you have to do all that sometimes. And then when it opened up, it said that there was actually some kind of weird glitch happening with YouTube last week.
Clearly a disturbance in the force.
And there's been a lot of like YouTube, I don't know, they do updates constantly. So Berserker Garage is here. What's up?
What's up? Check out Berserker Garage, making this wild Volkswagen. I would say it is on par with what we're attempting here. It's a total freak machine. Check it out.
Freak machine.
Total freak machine.
I
think it's his first time of something this developed, as I understand. So cool stuff going on over there.
I love the name Berserker. And for those of you asking, someone just asked about my foot. It's way better. I'm not limping.
I did a thorough scar infection last night. I gave it a hand
he massaged my foot.
The ET finger, healed everything. It's good to go.
Anyway, enough about that. Quit trying to be a YouTube darling, Ian.
It's an internet darling. So Victor showed up. Some folks saw it. Some folks didn't. He gave the okay on the car, but there's still some loose ends to wrap up. When did he come by? Monday, Friday? Saturday. So today's Wednesday. Believe it or not. It happens so fast. I went in and adjusted the skirts. I'm finalizing that. He was cool with the door latches and the deck lid. Everything is functioning. The one last thing he requested was, of course, a windshield. I thought he was going to handle it, but he thought better and had me handle it. He brought in this part that used to look like a windshield frame from any kind of 40s car. I'm not sure what year it was.
Okay, can we stop for 1 second?
Yes.
We have to say a very special hello to Carl, who is 4 years old, and he's watching us right now.
Hi, Carl. Stay in school. Do your homework.
And always have fun.
Always have fun.
Hi, Carl. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But he's
good.
4. Like, come on.
Yeah, we were talking about maybe having some younger blood in the shop someday, so it's appropriate. We'll keep it G-rated for Carl. Everybody.
And everybody's in the comments saying hi, Carl. Anyway.
Right on.
Okay.
So yeah, Victor brought in this windshield. It was a full surround with the center post, because back in the day, you'd have separate flat plates of glass in the windshield. Modern street rodders would V-butt the glass. They'd bring it together without that center metal divider. That's what Victor wants. But it wasn't wide enough for the Cadillac. Dun, dun, dun. That's where
I know, I can't add my fun music.
Where the story always starts. So the Cadillac would have had these massive A-pillars coming up where something like this probably would have fit in side. But he wants sort of a roadster windshield because it's a roadster. We made up some marks, and we widened this on our prior. It wasn't a live feed on our prior video.
What, the one with Victor here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't
live. It's always live. On this
Sorry
side.
about the microphones. That was hilarious.
True story, true mix-up. So they're usually green, and they were blue. And I said to Jamie, they're blue today.
And I was like, oh, it's fine.
Don't worry about it. So that was the audio issue.
And then when I went to take his microphone off of him, he was like, I don't have it on me. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, true.
Anyway.
So I ended up widening this with him. I took the bottom piece and cut it large and scabbed the two ends on after I split that. So yeah, we ended up with you can see the arrangement where it comes to the width of the door. But see, on that side, it's still short. You know, I held my hand up and he said, yeah, make it that big. So I started just now by putting a 3-inch extension on this side. We're going to continue by putting a 3-inch extension on that side. And Victor and I also figured out the angle as described by the WS, stands for windshield. So arrow to the arrow. That's going to touch there, and then that's the angle he wants it on right there. So let's start by welding this. This is stainless steel.
I'm just looking at your shirt. Laura just saw it.
Yeah. It fits perfect. 260 pounds of man inside this 2XL shirt. You can see the fit is perfect. Fabric feels comfy, and the design is bellissimo. I don't know if you can buy these. It's up to...
Yeah, they have a Shopify store.
Okay, there you go.
Or Shugi would have to drop the link because I don't think Laura is.
Oh, I thought it was like a members only thing.
Sorry.
My bad.
No.
Yeah, so we're gonna clamp this to the table. I've been using these wire racks and they work darn good. The dirt falls right through and so do your tools. It's pretty cool. I thought that it might be a little bit better, but it does work. I'm just gonna shim it up a little bit right here because what I'm doing when I add this together, it's something I came up with on my own years ago. So I've done a lot of this. I just take a solid rod and see the groove for the glass. That's the most important thing in any kind of windshield mod, chop top, etc. The glass is flat typically. So by putting the rod and indexing it in that little slot, you're guaranteed that the piece here is going to line up. And again, with chop tops and anything like this, these pieces don't belong together. So there's always going to be potentially a bit of mismatch. And that's where this comes in. Let me flip it over to better illustrate. I could do it both ways, but you're looking at this. So when you put these together, you know, you want the glass to fit, hence clipping that rod in place so it's seated. And then when you bring this in, you know, you could do anything when you're chopping on top. You could put it together all wrong, right? So I put it right there so that that looks nice. And there'll be a little bit of a discrepancy on the back side of that. But we can work with that. It's just a lot less visible. This is going to get chrome, so it counts. So I'm going to take this clamp. We got that, right? But I want a little gap because this has got to count. This is the only thing supporting that windshield. So as thin as this is, we want a nice weld to penetrate that. So I'm checking it out. Yeah. Move this over just a little bit so I can get that on the right level. Yeah, so that's straight, perfectly straight shot. We answered some questions in the shorts about, one of them was about welding in the settings. So this is super thin. This is going to be a challenge if you're a beginner. It's a challenge for me, and I've done it a lot. So I always, with something like this, I try to be real cautious in the settings. You'll see my typical go-to, I've talked about it, is on this machine, it's like 230 on the wire speed and about 17 or more when I'm welding regular, way up here. But for this, because it's so thin, I'm dropping the heat way down. Wire speed is the same, so it's going to be that cold arc. Cold, I mean, it's still liquid metal, but it's going to be like a short circuit scenario. You're going to hear a lot of popping. And I start with the little ball melted back onto the wire. So it's like a heavier wire when you're starting.
Before you start, will you
Yes.
grab my new welding helmet, please?
Ooh. Which one? There's two.
The cat one. Well, that one's kind of scary. But
So Jamie's there with a camera like this all the time. We're fiddling with the headgear, with the helmets. I was like, check that out.
I like them both. So now I have two. But this one, check this one out.
Talk about fierce.
Rare. Yep.
Yeah, I tell you. It's intimidating just standing next to that.
And I see a lot of questions that I will respond to after Ian gets started with this.
It'd be pretty cool if you had like a Charlie's Angel, like a little squawk box on the corner where like a moderator, Heidi, could just chime in. Check this out. This is a good one.
Squawk box.
Because that's what they did. They had a little conference box.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to tap this. You'll see how I get this weld started, right? Let that little end of the rod glow. Just touch it. Eventually it starts to heat up, and the arc will get smoother. So I'm going to pin both sides. Cool. Now let's flip it. So this is not a tube shape, it's a stamped thing. I guess it goes through a roller of some kind, but I treat it like a tube when I'm welding because it's sort of hollow inside. If I just continued welding that front, it would warp, it would pull it down. So before that happens, I'm gonna weld this. I got this tacked, I got the rod clamped in, and then I'm gonna try to just close up everything all the way around now. Again, starting cold. And just putting the heat in. Put on my special glasses. So I can actually see what I'm up to.
Uh-oh.
Come on. There it is. Cool. So now that that is grabbing, I can take these clamps off. And again, this is the most delicate, the top side, because that's going to be sanded and chromed. So I'm going to try to bring that really tall, you see how tall the welds are? Because they're reasonably cool. I'm going to try to just continue that without burning away right across the top. Yeah, groovy. So if you look here, well, there's a lot of, it's a bit rough from the cut, but you can see that's pretty thin stuff. And it is stainless steel. I thought it might be brass. Any questions? I'm just gonna let that cool off because I'm gonna be grabbing it for a second. Let's see what's going on.
Oh gosh, Flippy Pixel, that would be way, way too much information.
Sean is asking if it's .030 wire with 7525 shield gas. Yes, it is exactly that. Actually, I'm sorry, it's 035 wire because I upsized it when I changed it. But 030 gonna work almost the same. All right. Someone asked, will the Caddy be street legal? What is involved with getting one of your cars titled in California? What about insurance? So I always start with a car with a proper title. So street legal in California, that's up to the registration and up to the highway patrol. And the smog if it's new enough, the emissions control. So a car like this, 1938, you see Southern California, a hotbed of hot rodding activity.
Literally.
You'll see them on the road. So yeah, this one is titled to drive.
Like my car in the back, she's insured, titled, the whole thing. Heidi, we're going to be zooming around.
So yeah,
in
Persef
here.
has registered as a 68 bug, and good to go.
Yeah.
Again, the highway patrol will be like, where's your turn signals? Where's your mirrors? Where's your seatbelts? Where's your this? Where's your that?
But it's a historical car, right?
It's a hysterical car.
It is a historical car.
Sometimes people will turn the cheek because of its historical status.
Yeah.
All right, it's a little cooler. Let's check this out. What we're gonna do is create a trough because we're gonna sink the glass into the cowl. So now this windshield is, woo, that's warm. The windshield is woo warm. So, right, that's gonna be our angle right there. So we're gonna cut a trough into this once we figure out how to mount this. This is gonna have to be removable because you'll never get the glass in or out because it's gonna be sitting in that. Let me make a mark. We're gonna come up. I've done this before where I've used a little bit of a, how would you describe it? A tab or a gusset of sorts with some hardware, because that's on the mark right there. We want to stay in the sheet metal. So how do we make this bolt on?
Should I come around over there? Let's see.
It's up to the audience. If they can see it, then we're making our point.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's our card, arrow to arrow. That's the angle. And it's as big as my hand, which is what we talked about. So I think maybe if we came off with a little gusset right through here, we'll hide a screw right there. Because the glass is going to be glued in place at the bottom, so that's reasonably strong, but we do want this to be fastened somehow. So let's see. I wonder if I could just put some kind of a thing to hold that up.
So someone asked, there's not going to be like a middle column in the windshield?
No, I described that earlier, like the street rod style, when the two panels of glass are tailored to meet together. They have a little silicone seal between them, so no metal center divider. I'm gonna grab this real quick. I'll be back.
And a few people were asking about sending us things. If you look way back in the chat, I did put our P.O. box. It's P.O. Box 122, Mojave, California 93502. So P.O. Box 122, Mojave, California 93502.
It's a prestigious zip code.
So thanks for everybody sending us stuff. We really appreciate it.
I am currently working on all the donated cutting wheels.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Thank you, Heidi.
Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm just putting that there because it's gonna stand up strong.
Okay.
All right, so that's our mark there. That's our mark there. How much of an angle do we need just to set this up? This is coming back.
Feel better, Jeff?
Who's ill? What's going on?
They're sick and they're in bed, and I just said feel better. He said it's their entertainment for the day.
It is the winter season, cold and flu.
He said, what's going on? I want to know.
I need to know.
You got a fab.
Need
You're
to
the
know
star
this.
of the show.
Need to know the status of our audience at all times. Could you hand me that clamp, please?
Which one?
Actually, just that piece of sheet metal, that long, thin one. I'm looking
Right
at
here?
just, yeah, it's sharp
This
on the
one?
edge. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I need to figure out how to position this and move it a number of times. So just gonna put this on there. See if that'll hold it.
CJ, I do not want a kangaroo. Please don't. Oops.
Yeah.
Please don't send one.
Kangaroo. Just trying to come up with a good dad joke. I got nothing.
Aww. I just want to give a special shout out to Brian from Kuyan Customs. He is currently suffering. You shared it on your socials. Kidney stone.
More suffering.
And he's trying to pass it. So we hope you feel better. I hope they have you medicated well. And I'm making red beans and rice for dinner, and I use your Cajun seasoning in it. It's in the crock pot. Anyway. Nobody move. Muscle.
Got to come back quite a distance. This is part of it. I mean, if there was a school that teaches this kind of stuff, I don't know what they tell you in this instance without some kind of extra robotic arm. All right, there we are. Now, this is going to fall about 50 more times before we're done, but just bear with me. All right, so we need to figure out what that angle is right there.
It's like, don't wake the baby.
Don't wake the baby. Let me just look at it from the front. See if it's even. Oh, yeah, that looks cool. Interesting enough, though. It looks like it's down on the driver's side.
It does.
But our angle will work. At least we'll get one piece of hardware started. We might have to shift it that way a little bit. But let's work on the low side because we can cut that down if we need to. That's interesting. Yeah. Just take one of these and one of these. Don't wake the baby. Sweet. All right, so that can come to there. What if we reverse that? Yeah, something like that looks better. Come like that. Like that. We'll make two of these, and we'll weld a tab across with some way to fasten it. If anybody understood. We're using some 1/8" plate yesterday, so I'm gonna use the same. I think we even got some scraps.
Oh, and also, we were going to talk about this. So Victor will probably do some updates. He's kind of like that guy that likes to wait for the final reveal. So Ian, will you just explain that really quick?
Yeah, when we were filming the TV shows, it was the element of surprise, and Victor loves that. A lot of car builders, especially for awards, you won't know nothing about the vehicle till you see it on the floor of the show. He likes to stay in that vein. So we're probably going to update it right through the primer. No upholstery per se.
Yeah, because he told
No
me he was
paint.
keeping the upholstery secret.
Yeah, his guys are pros, and he might take it to Fruity Pebble Beach. I don't know.
Or he said something about West Coast Customs. Because
That's going to be a hot, fast turnaround. I'm interested to see
we'll
that
be
develop.
there. You know he could turn around cars like that, though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm interested to see him pull that off.
Yeah. So he said he's going to try.
Or like with the Merc Eater and the white Roadster car, he could just have it there in some state of finish. That was me just putting Jamie's headgear on in case anyone needed the explanation for the close-up. Let me find mine. Oh, I know. They're in the car where we were working yesterday.
Yeah, I see him over on the table.
Those orange things in the
And
corner?
the eye muffs, George is sending them from Australia, www.eyemuff.com. Ready for business.
Yeah, they work real good.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
And it's cool they are orange because you can see them in the shop.
Yeah. All right, cut a couple of these. Make a little
It's eye muffs,
bracket.
Heidi,
Oops.
with the S, babe.
Muffs.com. See, this is why we like to keep a tidy workbench. Everything's right where you left it. So you're going to talk about Jean's shop too, right?
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, and we're not trying to do this to sell a bunch of stuff, it's just the custom community is very small. And so we all have to support one another. So Jean has a Shopify site. All the profits go directly to him, to his trust, to pay for his caregiving expenses.
It's verified,
where he
it's
lives.
legit. There was some fake stuff going on the same way that we had our issues, etc. But
Yeah,
if we're talking about his stuff, it's the real deal.
exactly.
So speaking of Gene, these are pieces of his truck.
Ooh.
The little Dodge Ram gold truck with the mid-engine. So it's the same story with that. I just want to bring that idea up. And when we chop the top, this is the A pillar in that truck. So someday I'll remember to have him sign these.
I could kind of hear what you were saying.
That's how good those eye muffs are. that's thing one. We got that piece laying on the side. It was almost the same size. All right, line that up. Cut another one. All right, that's going to be pretty warm for the moment, but now we're going to have our bolt hole, our hardware part. So I'm going to just size that up because that's the same one. And we're going to keep this as far. Let me look at this, see which side is closest. Common problem with something like this on an angle is just try to put the tool in. Windshield's going to prohibit that. Let's see what we're working with. Yeah, that looks cool, just like that. So we know we want the hardware to be on that side and on the inside. Cool. Yeah, so we'll have the bolt right about here, and then we'll just make a cool little shape with a rounded tab. It just looks neat. I always like to drill holes first because you got this whole piece to leverage off of. So let's drill. Any questions?
Yes, but I'm trying to remember them.
Let me take a look. Trying to keep this interactive, as always. Look at that. They changed color. It's like our coffee mug.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, is there a hood ornament you're putting on Victor's Cadillac? Funny story about that. Interceptor Dave, 32 Cadillac, beautiful lady hood ornament, the flying lady. When you see the show, the TV show, it's on the hood, right? At the end of the day, I slammed the hood. The lady popped off and broke into two pieces on the ground. 1932.
Sad.
Victor got it in the repair shop. Some jewelry shop or something's going to put it all back together.
That's cool.
Yeah. Someone's asking about a motorcycle, V45 Magna. Cool bike, very fast. Do I have any bikes coming up in the future? Only the mini trike. That is all. All right. A very urgent question from Australia. Very urgent.
We'll answer.
Are there any
of
Australian
course.
cars you would like to customize or would like to own one day?
I don't know much about Australian cars.
I would like to own, let me see, how do I word this? The Interceptor, not the Pinterceptor, but the only V8,
Oh,
the
yeah.
last V8 on the road. Mad Max's
Mad
car.
Max,
I would
yeah.
love that. But I don't know much about them. I know that they had the Utes. I think it was unique to Australia, where there was a lot of American
Yeah,
cars.
a
I think
Ute.
that
That's what
became a
people are
pickup truck.
saying.
Those were neat. Yeah, I don't know a lot about it. I'm not into. I think like muscle cars. I think a Holden is the name. Like I'm not really into muscle cars, like the big go fast stuff, but it's the older classic lines, 30s style stuff. But I just said I wanted the Mad Max car. I'm not into muscle cars. Talking yourself into a corner, man. I just want the switch with the blower. That's all I want.
It's a pretty cool car.
All right.
And then the Jeep. A few people are asking about that.
The Jeep is, look, it moved in the shop. So I don't know what that means, but it's closer to somewhere than it was.
We really are trying to get
Trying to get our stuff together.
And for the person that just shared about the IMOS on Amazon, Groggles, they stole George's idea. So, yeah. Anyway, he's working on the patent, but we knew it was going to be a matter of time before they got stolen.
That was some of the discussion
Yep.
we learned about.
So don't buy the Groggles. Who knows? These are coming straight from Australia.
Straight from the heart.
George literally makes them.
Speaking of which, let's don some protection. Yeah, I've been using these for what?
Huh?
I think about 5 years.
Yeah.
There's different
you've been wearing
generations
these
of
on,
them.
You were wearing these on the show a long time ago.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, we're at the end of the stick here. I need a little handle. That's going to get warm. The rough cut, I'll dress that up on the belt sander. Just bring it over here, make another mark for our stuff. There's a drill and cut that. This is stuff that was all glossed over. If this is your first live, this is all stuff that was glossed over in the TV production. I mean, it all happened, but it's kind of a different story with that. So we're doing it for real. I did a thing on our filming yesterday.
Thank you.
Right, to make a whole series of tabs, and I would stack 4 or more. Every time you need something the same, I'm in the habit of doing this with either a bolt, or in this case, I'll just use the drill bit. I drilled the holes first because I like that index. You know, that's how you come out with even stuff. You could blueprint this, you could do it a whole bunch of other ways, but see, you got that, and then when you clamp it, the whole stack of whatever you're making is going to be the same, and the bolt hole is going to line up.
That's
so,
always a good thing.
Right, I'm just going to dress this up on the belt sander right now. It's not going to be loud, but I'll wear some eye
I'll
stuff.
stand over here. So we do have 2 videos for those of you on the live, sneak peek. We have a video coming up this week that I'm editing. That. And then that. I'm going to get the suspension if y'all can hear me.
See that? I just remembered. I'm not very quick on the fly sometimes. The last of the V8 Interceptors. That's the one I want. The official last. I love that movie. Sorry if it gets redundant, but I mean, between that and Spaceballs, what more do you need in your life?
Well, I was talking to, because they have the Wasteland weekend out here, and I was talking to Kyle, who's one of the people that cares for Gene, and he and his wife want to come out to the Wasteland weekend. And I was like, oh, I hate that. And he was like, why? I was like, because that's not really how it would be in the Wasteland. Wasteland weekend, it's cosplay. If I'm in the wasteland, I'm wearing cowboy boots,
Well, yeah.
a pair of shorts.
They said you're more likely to just die of dysentery within
right, and a desert
short
hat.
period of
Tank
time.
top. He said, "You mean not a garter and high heels?" I was like, "No."
Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to want to cut this down a little bit. Again, let's not wake the baby. We're going to do this very gentle. Let's make a measurement too and see why this looks so wonky. Something's off because I know both of these cuts are even. It's about 9 inches there. It could just be slid over a little bit on the car too. This is an optical illusion. It's within a 1/4 inch. This is where it all starts to change. So yeah, I think this has got to come over.
Uh-oh. Is there no sound?
Uh-oh.
Somebody said no sound.
No sound? Check, 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 check.
Okay. Sounds good here. Oh, and Timmy is in the chat. He's also another moderator in our YouTube. Hey, Timmy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
No,
cool.
now people are messing with us. They can't hear. Ha, ha, ha.
Ooh. Yeah, so I'm going to trim that. And then we're just going to drop that other side. But let's get one side mounted and make a cut. See what's happening with our heights. This is going to be very loud, so it's an option if you want to wear these.
Oh, no, it's cool. I'll stand over
I won't
this
spark
way.
you. Yeah.
Oh, I think when you grind, they couldn't hear you. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, that's something also with the lives. We don't have the sound edit potential. So, yeah, there's going to be some, I don't know if the mic will, what's it called when it spikes? We may have a mic spike issue.
Oh, Dave, you do not want to hear Ian sing.
What?
So this is pretty much how it is when we do the filming of the YouTube.
It's a lot of me walking back and forth.
And we
looking
like
for my
talk about
tools.
stupid stuff that we edit out.
Cool.
Brian, I'm telling Brian he should name his kidney stone Lan. The evil Lan Roussel.
I don't know how long we could prolong this land joke. That poor person's ego must be taking a beating. Okay, so we got that angle on. Let's see what we can do to this. That's gonna sit there. Put a little clamper on it. Let me get that paint off. So yeah, you're not really able to see the chat content, are you, on that?
Well, when it's this way, I can only see like 3
Yeah,
comments at a time, but that's okay.
Trying to keep it lively. A lot of people have asked me if I need Colecos. I appreciate the offer, but I don't need them. Roy gets it. The endless search for the tool you don't need. Pretty much. So yeah, see that? Shoot straight across like that. Let's weld that on. I'm gonna take that weld off a bit more.
Oops, sorry. Just grabbing my helmet.
Cool. Kick that welder on. So this will be normal heat because the plate I'm welding to is 1/8 inch. So I could put the heat right to that and let it join on the thinner material.
Oh, and I hate to break it to everyone. We normally are going to do lives on Wednesdays. Next Wednesday, we're not doing a live because I have to take my mama to the doctor. Hi, Mom, if you're on here, love you. So next week, no live, but lives every Wednesday for the foreseeable future. But
Till we
just not-
change our mind.
Till we change our minds. No, just not next week because my mom has a doctor's appointment down in Bakersfield, and so we gotta go
So
do
there's
that. I gotta keep her around forever. I love her.
True story.
I'll do what it takes.
All about maintenance.
Oh yeah, she's okay. It's just a routine thing, but you know.
Maintenance. All right. Let's make sure that is vertical. That looks decent. Uh-oh. Malfunction. Now that I got the welder turned up, it's feeding back a little bit. Interesting. I bound this thing up pretty good the other day. I was welding upside down on the Cadillac fender, and the steel dripped down into the torch. So I think that's a little bit suspect.
Oh.
The liquid steel fell off. Got in the head of the torch. Someone asked me if I use nozzle gel. That's this, it's basically like a tub of stuff that you put the welding tip into. I don't use it, but it's effective. I don't know why I don't use it. I just don't.
There's a lot of things. It's all right. You do you.
All right, we're gonna have to fill up these hardware holes because it's never gonna need them, but I'm gonna wait on that. I'll do this one.
Hi, Pedro.
Yeah, there's a little bit of crust around that. I'll finish that up later. I'm not here to waste everybody's time any more than necessary. So this has got a weld bead inside here. I'm gonna finish that off before we put the other piece on. I'm gonna set up the grinder with the wire wheel. It's gonna be faster.
You're coming back over here, yeah?
Yeah, I mean the abrasive wheel rather.
DIY Dark Matter. We have the camper here. This is our camper. We call it the B. It's just in storage for the winter because the desert kind of kicked its butt, and if it gets snow on it, it's gonna mess it up. And we
The
gotta do
sun here is so harsh.
Yeah.
There's like little trims, little rubber trims that go all over the
Yeah.
hardware. And on our last camping trip, everything flew away.
Yeah.
So yeah, ice is gonna get in there.
But it's a cute little camper. We love it. But we have it in storage here for now to do a little work on it and keep it nice. Plus, when it's in the desert or at the house in the mountains right now, the mice are just
Crazy.
relentless.
Relentless. Yeah, those soft discs are a lot less harsh with noise and sparks, but you see I use the hard discs almost all the time. Just a little, whatever, I think it's whatever your opinion is, if you prefer one or the other. Where's that thing? I dropped it. There it is. There's the other one. All right, so this is going to be our mounting pad with the hole. So that's going to sit right here. Oh, sorry, this way. That way we can access it, as I mentioned. Let's weld that on. We'll be able to fit this on the car with a little more proficiency. That thing was about to fall.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Bill, desert mice are another level of destructive.
They eat through tin cans.
They eat like through, it's kind of incredible how destructive desert. Roy, he's the gentleman from Mojave is on here. They eat through, it's crazy because there's no water, there's no vegetation. So if they smell anything, they're savage, they're scary.
I couldn't believe it. Beer cans popped open by mouse teeth. Tuna fish. It was a party at our old house.
Well, and they went through the water line.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up pretty simply. Nice weld right there. Cool. Now this is going to have some kind of a little gasket between the metal and the paint, but we're going to mount it rigid for right now and just take a look at our height because we got a good side to hold it on the car. We can strap it back on and see if we got to adjust that height a little bit. The fella that offered the Clecos probably knows already, but if people don't know, I use these self-tapping screws all the time. And I'm going to do the same here because it's an old habit that dies hard. A Cleco would do the same as I'm about to.
PW, no, I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I don't know. I used to work as a nurse in the hospital and got super burnt out and started this channel. And this is kind of my full-time job, but I am looking for a little part-time job or doing some caregiving, but not working as a nurse. But this job actually takes up, Chuki said, my 24/7. I put in a lot of hours.
But we got to hurry up with this because my shift at the burger joint starts in an hour and a half. I'm just saying. You got to pay the bills. All right, so let's shut these doors. Let's slam them, in fact.
Can I shut off the welder?
Yeah, totally. We're just going to screw this on. I'll get it.
It just messes with the
sound.
sound.
I know. It's
you got
annoying hum.
Thank you.
The
Thank
relentless
you,
hum of electricity. Now they're green again. Amazing. All right. We're not going to grab the hot metal. Remind me. So stand back and take a look-see. Does it need to go left or right, or is that centered?
Say that again, please.
I want to vote. Does it need to go left or right, or is that centered?
It looks like it needs to come towards you a little bit.
Good answer. That works with the mark that Victor and I established.
Maybe a teeny tiny. Yeah. That looks, because that center is now lined up with.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So,
what do you guys think?
So many comments about things like evenness through the lens of the phone. And one of the issues is the fisheye lens of the phone isn't a very good guide in that regard. Ooh, that's not sharp. Like when you go side to side on a project, the lens of that isn't a good, not a good resource.
Welcome, Sean. Thank you.
Just in time to see me drop my self-tapping screw. So it's weird. These tips aren't magnetic. Some of the screw gun tips are. And that is going to be very hot. Sure is. All right, let's just set this in. Let's see what we're working with. Cool. Let's loosen that up a little bit. Okay, so now we got some bit of assemblage. Let's take a look. It looks like that's got to come forward from our cowl door jamb. That's at about 4 1/4. And from here, oh yeah, no, that's reasonable. That's within. So from our line, we're at about, so the top is 9 1/2, and it graduates down to 9 1/4. We haven't cut that one yet. Yeah, so it's at 9. So if we trim that off, we're even. So the 3-inch tab, the 3-inch extension does make sense. Yeah, let me make sure we're still 4 1/4 out from the door opening. Correct.
Yes, Lynn, we are ready. We thought we were going to get snow last night, but we didn't. So, yeah, we're ready. We got plenty. And we have a whole house, Jenny, which is nice.
Yeah, we were ready for the snow.
Yeah,
It was
I
a
have my
drizzle.
snowsuit and everything.
Seriously, I had the ATV in the garage, ready to hook up the plow. Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, Lord.
All right. Are you cutting a channel in the cowl for the bottom of the glass? Tim Wanson asks. Sir, you are on the mark, and you are just in time for that event. We're going to put this screw and tab in, then we're going to cut the cowl. That's the best part of the whole thing.
And will the windshield be glass or Lexan?
This one will be glass. Yeah, no, this is just the first part of the story. For a pretty simple operation, there's a lot to this, from the widening of the frame to the little legs to the evenness of it, and then to the glass trough. All right, I'll pop that welded helmet off.
I like that one so much better. It's much more comfortable. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, let me get my left-hand glove. We'll
Hey,
cut
at least
this
he's got on a belt, Daniel.
for once.
He said your baggy drawers.
Spark coming at you. All right. Now we're in the ballpark. Let's double check this. 4 1/4. Let's check our angle with this piece. I think I'm going to build this right on the car. Let me get my seat, so I can tag that down pretty tight and then weld this in place. That way I'm not back and forth on a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's cool right there. All right, so let me grab this, the little holder. That way I can weld that. Let's check our angulator once more. We can bend that to fit. Yeah, see, that's gonna sit right there. Cool. Just have to push that down a little bit. Pop this on, get a ground. Put on some gloves. Yeah, we have to get this screwed down and at the proper angle. Then we can adjust where our trough will be cut for the glass. So that's where we're heading with this. Yeah, as long as that is even, Steven, you're good to go. I'm actually gonna saw that a little bit. Oops. I'm gonna set this up first, then I'll lift it up and trim it. So I like the way that is coming together. I'm going to weld this and I'm going to trim that back. Leave that connected. I'm going to put the grinding wheel right through that angle. Run into a little discrepancy because of the way this base is. I gotta hit it with the hammer. We want that at 4 1/4. We want that to be sitting there. So, just gonna trim this back to start. Take a look and measure this. We're at 4 1/4. Now, just to say, vertically is roughly 9. Tapering. Vertically, yeah, 9. All right, cool. That's good for there. Let's pin that one down.
Corey, we are going to be going back to the Zephyr and the primering soon, and then we'll report more about it. Brian, good luck to you in surgery. We wish you well. We'll probably still be here when you get out. Big love to you. Do well, okay?
Take care, sir. See you on the other side. Okay, this is not something everyone's going to see because it's a little hidden corner.
I can go over here.
While that's still hot, I want to bend it down just like that without knocking it off. There it is. Cool. Yeah. 4 1/4. All right, let's put a pin in that.
And looking at some of the comments, so somebody keeps on commenting about the Jeep and the trike. The trike is pretty much finished.
Mechanically.
And Ian's a fabricator, and yeah, he does know how to finish cars, but the purpose of the channel is more fabrication.
Yeah, the seat came out awesome.
The seats are really cool.
I could show you that,
Yeah.
but it's just on hold. I got a lot going on. I got a lot of stuff to weld.
And we're trying to get this car out the door for a client. He was ready to go crazy with it. So, and the Jeep, we'll get back to the Jeep. No worries. Things take time.
You were going right where I was.
And, you know, if you guys questions his ability to finish things, I mean, he's got a whole catalog. You just Google it. So, anyway. We're actually going to be doing a video about that. We're going to sit down with all the full custom builds, get pictures.
Oh, the ones I actually finished. What a concept.
Because what do you say you know where everyone is except for 2 of them?
I don't know where Big Boris, the car ramp truck, that went to a TV show and never heard from again. It was spotted out in the desert once. And then the Flaming Bug of Doom, my Volkswagen, the sectioned fenderless flame fender car thing.
And you guys might get to see what's that truck's name? The milk truck, Murray?
Apparently it's been renamed.
Huh?
Apparently it's been renamed. What's the alien name on there? American Dad. Roger.
Oh, Roger. That
was.
Truck, you guys might see that again this year. That one may potentially go to SEMA. But if we
Been
do
in
anything...
the SEMA staging area for 5 years. 6 years.
So we may do a video on that.
Ow, that's hot.
And if you guys are here, drop a like. Oh gosh, Lauren, I couldn't run a channel for Victor.
He's a bundle of X.
And he's kind of a private dude. I mean, he's on television, but he's kind of a private dude.
So there it is right there, grooving.
Good job. Good job, darling.
Cool. So, okay, that's pinned. We're going to come up with a little detail to match this in the bodywork of the car. The whole idea is that, it needs to remove. So I'm going to build up a little shape later, but let's get into cutting that trough. And I have some material left over that's already been put in the sheet metal brake, so I'm going to attempt to use this. Whether or not it works out remains to be seen. So I got this big board. Where is that? I'll use paper instead of a hard metal thing. I got this rigid. Yeah, that'll work.
Hi, Jason from Tasmania, Australia.
Say what?
I'm just saying hello to the Australian.
Hello, globe. Hello, global audience. We say that every time. It's a trip. People are watching from all over the place. There won't be a dance routine on today's production, unfortunately, but we may get somewhere with this windshield project.
And this week, for those of you joining in, I'll give you a little sneak peek. So Ian changed up the suspension on the Zephyr to a 3-link, so stay tuned for that video. And, the PNW in the house.
And the bug.
And then Ian worked on the bug. He
Notice
made more structure.
There's no apparatus hanging down to the ground any longer.
So, yeah. So those 2 videos I'll be editing, and those will be up like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. All right. So we got this piece of paper that's pretty darn near straight. I mean, within reason. Let's put that on the windshield frame and see what kind of line we come up with. Now I'm using this because we need that right there, see? So what I'm doing is I'm laying it on this surface here, which is giving us where it's gonna touch the car body, right there. So I'm gonna take this, actually let me start by doing that. Take this. I'm gonna land it right there so we have a sure thing. Yeah, no, that wants to be right there. Just like that. Yeah, so see these lines are coming right into position. Like that. Rudy's Tacos. No markers, not. I don't know, Rudy.
We've had them like 3 years. I mean, it's not like
It's not like they're sitting in 120-degree weather all
and it is.
summer.
We are still in the desert.
So if I take my eye and I look at that right there, it lines up. That's the math, because the glass is flat. And as it comes down,
Come over there.
yeah, that's cool.
I would think that this would be one of the trickiest parts of the build.
Oh, yeah. It's going to look good on camera, but you're going to hear the cussing later when the camera goes off. This is highly experimental. So when you got that, because the glass does not bend. Just want to reiterate. Yeah. So the way we're going to finish this is I'm going to cut this into here and let these pieces fall through the cowl. So I'll have the opportunity to trim. That's where I'm going with this. Look at this. So I want that angle to be the same as this windshield pillar, and it ain't even close.
No.
But that's why I need to cut through here somewhere. Figure out the actuality of the situation. Yeah, from there. I don't know, these lines are making sense. And they line up. I say we cut it. I say with reckless abandon, let's cut this thing. It's only metal. If you're in this position and you're starting to overthink things, you can always build it back. You can always build it back. Don't be scared. I'm gonna mark this. I'm gonna put a little brace right there. That way that's sure to not move.
Somebody asked, how would you seal the center of a windshield like that?
How would I seal that?
Yeah.
Well, in a closed top car, they make a little, some kind of plastic. I don't know if it's urethane, but there's like a little, it's like an H. I guess it'd be shaped like an H where the two glass, they V-butt, they come together with this tiny little seam. So yeah, you see it on street rods a lot. Yeah, okay, that's our angle. That's where we want to be. I'm gonna put a little tack, a little riser to hold it in place.
Steven, he gets his ideas from outer space.
I seriously do dream a lot about that.
He does. He dreams a lot.
Jamie mentioned that just the other night. Something was going on in my sleep. I got to cut this on a saw. I'll be right back.
Okay.
There's a screw welded to one end and a big blob of weld on the other. Typical shop stuff.
Pavement mod, what do you mean anything he's afraid of? Like building wise or just in general? The Caddy is going to be pretty much a show car. Victor has a lot of cars, but
yeah, they have plates, they drive, but
Yeah.
they're primarily show.
he doesn't really take them. He goes to a lot of car shows.
That sounds different.
I would think Victor's at a car show probably a couple times a month. And usually he brings different cars. So
He
at the
gets
Grand
around.
Nationals, he brought the Merc Eater, right? Or Eater.
So yeah, some people might be confused as to what that long name means. His
I
first car was
still
called
am.
his first car was called Merc Eater. Like it eats Mercs. It's that tough. It's the Merc Eater. So I built the car to one up his. It was the Merc Eater. Eater. It's a long story. And then he bought it.
And then he bought it.
So who wins in the end? That's the question. Yeah, it's gonna put a little action right here so that stays put. That, of course, is temporary. But now we got a little rigidity.
Does he get any money out of these? No.
What's that?
Just for having all these cars? Probably not. I mean, maybe if he sells them, but to go to car shows?
No, it's just a labor of love. It's an expense. That's his trip, man.
It's his hobby. He loves
He
it.
loves it. No, it's like some people go to play tennis or whatever, you know. It's just it's what he likes. I'm gonna make a little piece. I guess I could use steel. Just gonna check a couple things before we really commit to this, because I'm not trying to mess up in front of the whole world.
I think they would forgive you.
So this is our glass.
So the sign that says that is a good sign, I believe they have the website. Like
Yeah.
it's that's a good sign.com, I believe. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We love it.
Yeah, so that's coming in. See, that's putting our trough way out here. So I think I'm going to go with that mark as opposed to the paper idea. But our angles are true. Yeah, it puts it out a little bit further. Okay, so if I was to eyeball this, I'm really not sure what I'm doing right here. So we're going to just experiment. It's going to work. Like I said, we can build back, but let's just figure it out. Let me get this out of the way. Trip hazard.
Hi, Cole. Say hi to Cole.
What's up, Cole? Thanks for joining. So I'm going to look at this. I'm going to put this on our mark right there. And now I'm just going to look down the lane. I'm going to look at this angle. Because now looking at this, that is our mark. Like this could come in just a little bit. So that's what I'm seeing. Looking straight down. That's perfect. So that's ahead of everything we've drawn so far. So, and it's pretty close to coincides with this. You got a lot of marks to choose from, but
Yeah, you do.
well, the good news is we're going to have a rather large angle, wiggle room, let's call it, because we're going to have a flange and a trough that comes down. So we could pick any one of those lines. But if I'm looking right down the lane, it really depends where you stand. I don't know. Let's cut one side open and see what we're dealing with. You could always redo it. I think I'm going to cut right through this center one. Take a look. Put on your spectacles.
Thank you.
Check. I'll hold that helmet if you like.
Oh, thank you. Is there one car that you got rid of that you wish you would have kept?
It was the 68 Bug back in New York. I wish I kept it, okay? I admit it. It was a sunroof model. I was so infatuated with my Baja Bug. This guy gave me a rust-free 68 Bug with the interior still in, like a nice car. Parted it out for the Baja Bug. Folly of youth.
The follies of youth.
Yeah. All right. So looking down at this angle, yeah, I'm going with this one right here. Double that up so we can put some material in there. I'm gonna put that from this side. Nope, I have to go in here. Look at this. because of the angle of this, we might have to open this up a bit more for glass, but for paper, it might just work. Get in there and clean this one open. So let's trace this windshield frame and cut the paper to fit. First, let's take a question. How far are we into this jam?
76 minutes.
All right, we are really taking some time.
How did we meet? Somebody just asked that question.
It was a long time ago on a barren desert plain. There was a lot of people there acting pretty weird.
It was backcountry.
It was definitely backcountry.
We met at
Seriously.
Burning. We met at Burning Man. It's kind of love at first sight. Got married.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. And you know, to this day, I do.
Same.
We had our first official date on Playa. With the sheet metal creating, seems like Victor would want to, want a two? I don't know. That one didn't quite make it through the translation. I don't know. Let's build a car instead. Thought we might take a question.
That's why.
I don't know if some people use like voice to text. I don't know. Sometimes it comes out weird on the other end.
How are you going to support the window and the cowl?
We're going to build a trough. That's where we're getting with this. So the glass does not just free float in there. Yeah, so this is just the beginning of the whole operation.
Yeah.
You have to build something down in there for the glass to lay in and ultimately be glued in place.
And Nico, I'm glad you like coffee mugs. A lot of people got the coffee mugs. Listen,
The funny
if you
story.
all like coffee mugs, like really like them, our new Monster one, and I will get them out to those of you I promised them to. They're so cool.
And remember to fill it with hot water.
Yeah. So I had someone email me and they said, there's no Monster on my coffee mug. And I said, put hot water in it. And he did. And he's like, oh, my bad. So yeah, the Monster appears from the darkness. It's really neat, kind of reminiscent of like the 80s, like hypercolor kind of thing. Very cool. So.
I thought it was reminiscent of our first date at Burning Man.
Yeah.
The monster appears from the dark.
Yeah.
Right, let me cut this. Enough of this nonsense. They just
Do
want to see a
it.
car get built.
Do it.
Yeah, so it looks like you just trim this out. We'll fit that in place and see what develops. This is oversized at the moment. But again, probably a bunch of templates to be made until it's in final glass. Because even this is a little bit flexible. But I think in the end there will be body work and probably some kind of glue deep down in there to hold the glass. Because glass this size is pretty rigid. You won't have any like hard and fast strength issues with it. Not at this. Not at this. It's about a 9-inch windshield.
Exactly, Monster Chick Bullies. He said, we are here for the nonsense.
Thank you.
Monster Chuck Blues.
You're looking for nonsense. You came to the right channel. Nothing but freewheel and experimental fabrication in this zone. Yeah, it's getting close. Trim this up a little bit more. So you see how I'm just kind of arriving at this shape because lastly, the glass will be sitting in it, but then the windshield top goes and holds it all. So these weird angles I'm cutting just to weasel it in from the underside. So you can get some kind of reference. Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
That
Look
looks
at
really nice.
Here I am saying, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe a little bit.
And some of the questions, 65 CJ that I see going over and over again, I'm kind of making a mental note to go back and ask Ian, because right now we're working on the windshield.
Yeah.
So,
No, we're going to do a whole Q&A.
yeah. So stay on. I know it's a little long today, but this is fabrication. And Ian will definitely go over those questions, including that one you asked me to reference.
Yeah, I think I may, just to, again, we're 70 minutes into this, and it's probably really entertaining. I'm going to make one side of this trough.
Ian, believe it or not, there are 2,036 souls here. We really appreciate it.
That's a lot of
People
souls.
love customs and fabrications, so it's not boring. It's really interesting.
All right. Keep building up my ego. That's all I need. All right, cool. So that's that. Now check this out. Let's put a straight edge on there, because the glass don't flex. And that paper's flexed. I could see it. What do we got? A piece of angle iron should do the trick. Nope, we got this.
Yes, Keith, your daughter is right. You need to hit the heart.
Oh, ye of little material stock. I've done it again. Let's try this one.
Yeah, the windshield definitely
cut
is
some
going to
ends
tie
off.
it together. I agree. And so for those of you just joining, we're finalizing the Cadillac, the fabrication, and Ian's going to be sending it out to Victor the end of this week. And you can look over the last video on the car that we just posted the other day, and it goes over some of the questions in here, but yeah, you can't see through it. That's right, 65, not yet. I like your idea of drawing the stick figure of Victor on there. That would be hilarious. Drawing a smiley face on it.
That's child's play. What kind of serious...
You know you've done that before.
Oh, I've done that a lot. Okay, so see, this is dead straight now. So we're looking a little bit tight right through here. So I'm going to use that yardstick and redraw our line, and then we're going to build this half of the trough just to keep the energy flowing. It's just going to get tedious after here. So we got that. We're going to pull that line. That's probably way too big because we're not 100% true right there. Yeah, pull that out to there. And then we're going to cut that back to there. Yeah, see, now that's sitting inside as it's supposed to.
This is true CAD design, cardboard assisted
Cardboard
design.
assisted design.
Somebody just commented that. That's funny.
Yeah. True. All right, I'm going to trim that with the cutting disc.
Bye, Kevin.
Ready for your glasses?
Yes, please.
Excuse me, IMOF's trademark.com. We don't get paid for this, I'm telling you.
No, we do not.
We just like the product.
And somebody asked about different brands and things like that. Ian and I have tried to work with brands, and while we do work with some, brands start to dictate what it is that goes in your video, how your video is, and then we have tried early on. I know some
If
of
you
are
remember some of
familiar
our infomercials.
with our integrations. We do have a brand manager, and they know that Ian and I are very punk rock.
Keep it very real.
We don't like people telling us what to do, how to do it. So anyway.
All right, I'm just going to come in here a little bit. Watch your eyes. So I can just snip that. Cool. That will work. So each time I refine that opening, see now it just sets right in. That looks good. This is going to need a little assistance. Yeah, that looks cool. All right. Grooving. You're set. Let me just trim off that little excess right here. Yeah. I like it. It does look a little bit bowed though. Yeah. I'd rather have a little more room than not enough. So I'm going to trim this a little bit more. Yeah, cool. Do this once more with the straight edge.
But yeah, on the brand thing, I was just wanting to go back to the brand thing. They really do try to dictate, and then your stuff kind of starts to lose the authenticity, and like it would cause Ian and I to kind of get in little arguments. So we said no brands. Ones Ian's worked with in the past on a show, of course.
Well, occasionally too, you do drop links to stuff that I actually use. Welding discs,
Yeah,
things
but
like
the
that.
affiliate links, they don't dictate how we record or what we record or whatever. So
Yeah, what she said. Affiliate links. All right, this is the big news. We got these two pieces. So this is just leftover stuff from the break. We want to make, this is way big. We want to make a trough like that, but small so the glass fits in it. So we're going to do it in two pieces. I'm going to take this half, I'm going to lay it in there, and then cut this off. Take the remaining piece, make another half, and hey, we're going to put some glass in it. I don't know what more to say about it. Then we're going to make two end caps. But the thing is, see, this cowl is curved. Curved cowl technique. All right, cool. So that fits. I'm going to cut this straight down the lane. I don't even need a mark because that's got a crease in it. I'll do that on the bench. Prepare the muffs. It's going to be loud. I'm going to try to stay away from shooting our computer screen with sparks. I'll stand on that side.
thank you.
Check.
Do you want me to stand on the other side?
I'm going to be here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got a little bit weird on the end, so I'm just going to put in the brake and make it right. Got to hit it with a little block of something. Fish.
I gotta get a drink of water.
Hmm?
I gotta get a drink of water.
I know, this is exhilarating.
We're in the office.
Everybody's getting a little thirst worked up. Right. Coming back around to the 90-degree mark. Cool. Now let's put that there in the car and see what the angle is. Ooh, I'll have a drink of water too.
Oh, 40 Mamba. It's not beer time for us yet, but
No.
we're getting close.
Soon though, soon.
Yeah, Martin, my foot is much better. Still a little hurty, but I'm not limping and it's not keeping me awake.
What we're trying to do here is, because this is curved, the glass is going to want to fall lower. So I'll show you what I'm getting towards right here. Yeah, so we want that up to there. And that. Wow, that is curved, huh? Yeah, interesting. This is really pushing on the curve. I have to because this is laid back. It's not this. It's this.
Ah.
That inside is going to have to come back. Yeah, so that's touching. That's touching, and that's down. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to have to come in considerably on this angle. I'll show you what's happening in a second. Yeah, so see what's happening here is this. As it curves up, it's doing something like that. Yeah. So, interesting. Why is that? Because when we do this, it works. Totally works. Oh, it's because we're on the outside of the piece. Now we're on the inside of the piece. That's why. Yeah. My bad. It's all coming into play now. When we're inside the channel of the glass, yeah, that's got to definitely come back to like there. You hit that with a straight edge. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it do. Told you, it looks easy on paper. Now we're into it.
Mm-hmm.
Do a quick battery change on this. Set you up.
We are cooking now.
Hmm?
I said we are cooking now.
I can't hear a thing. Now it lays in there, it should start to make a little bit more sense. Yeah, cool. Cool. Yeah, so that's gonna set in there like that. Yeah, I like that. And that's gonna come down right to there. So now see how it's even here?
Mm-hmm.
I can trace right across that. And that's what we're gonna weld in. I think, no, I want that. No, that's good. You're correct. That's gonna weld right across. Probably could weld this and cut it after. Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that's how curved the car is.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to cut this above this line, then I'm going to tack it, then I'm going to grind it back. I'll tell you why once we get into it. Let me cut this. Cut it about a 1/4 inch above that line. So what this is allowing me to do is set up to join in the way I just described. But like the hardware I set up, we wouldn't be able to get the welding torch in there. Now I can see all the way in. Yeah.
Charlie, that's really nice. Charlie said it's his first live catching it. His son is 17 and building his first car.
Right on. That's what's happening. You got to start somewhere. So I'm going to turn this down about 15.8-ish.
And yes, as Heidi said, thank you everyone for being here. We appreciate it. We like doing the lives. This is how long it takes. I just edit down the videos.
Seriously.
Sometimes it will take us over 2 hours.
It goes on and on and on. So see what I did here. I actually got to clip that up. I set this up so I could still hold on to it above the surface of the vehicle. Let me get in here with the disc.
Okay, and I got my helmet on.
That's the difference between metal and paper. You can just push the paper into place and the metal says, no, there's something in the way. Kindly try again. All right, cool. So I'm going to tack this and then we're going to put the paper in and check the angle of the dangle. Because this is below the surface and that's below the surface.
It's going to be glass.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, cool. Let's set this in. Yeah. How does that work? Works like it's supposed to. Lovely. All right, I'm gonna spot a couple across here. See what I'm getting at? I was able to hold this and now I got room to work without having a sheet in my way. I could just get some spots going and cut it back as I work. All right, cool. So also I use the heat, see on this side?
Hold on. Say that.
A lot of times I use the heat as a mark to cut it by. You could clearly see the tacks through here. So I can run the disc right across the top of those and not affect the part that's been welded. Cool. And knock that off real quick with the grinder. There it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, just by using these
Say that again.
just by using these welds as a reference. All right, so we got half a trough in there. Check that. Check that with the camera, if you please. There'll be a lot of trimming back on the top. But can you see down in there how you got that one little ledge?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the front side of that with the leftover piece.
And Neo, what is your question? We have another urgent question.
Yes, yes. How can we address the
Neo,
urgency?
what is
of the
it? Because the name Neo, I mean, you know,
Neapolitan?
Neo Matrix.
Oh, all right, Neo. What's the question?
I don't know. I'm waiting.
Prepare for the question.
And yes, it's going to be an automatic.
Yep. Automatic transmission. I do not
And then a lot of people are asking about the driveline.
Ford, it's actually a Lincoln Mark 7, so it was a Lincoln, nice car, air ride Lincoln, with the 5.0 high output engine, Mustang, Ford Mustang style, with the automatic transmission. So the entire, from the engine back is Lincoln, suspension and everything. I just changed the airbags to an aftermarket unit. So the 4-link from the Lincoln's in there, and then the front is a Camaro or Nova subframe. Power steering, disc brakes, back rear disc brakes too.
It's going to ride like a dream.
All right, let me cut that other piece. Set those up for you.
Appreciate it.
All right, and just like the other one, there's a little reference mark here that I could cut on. And stay away from that nice computer. Right. Now I'm gonna have to get under the dashboard to weld these together, but we don't even have to approach that. It's a very basic. You have the other shelf sitting there. We're just gonna put them on top of each other like that, and I'll get under and stitch them together. But we got to make the mark on top like we did. Let's check this out. So see what we're getting at? This one's coming under, and this one's coming under, or rather on top, like that. Trough is born.
Trough. Little baby trough.
Yeah, see that? And the glass will set in there with whatever kind of little
And
rubber
I don't
gasket.
think the trough is going all the way to, why is the trough not going all the way to the middle of the car right now?
Because that's the, so you set up, or I set up things a lot of ways. You're gonna have two end details and a center detail.
Ah,
So, yeah.
So you'll make like a center trough.
Goes on and on. So I could fit these up that way, but just in my own experience, I've found you just throw in, think of tiling for instance. You throw in the field Then you put the edges on. That's what we're doing.
Thank you for asking that question, viewer. Somebody was asking you that, and I wanted to know too.
Well, again, it started with that. Those are the pieces of steel that I had available. You know, that's the way I'm building most everything lately. Mm-hmm. We had the steel already in the shape we needed, and we got one more piece of sheet metal out there, but I don't want to cut it. I want to use this. We got so much scrap laying around. I'm just trying to streamline that.
Right.
So.
And Stephen Myers, the rims, we're hoping Victor keeps the Cadillac rims, but in the end, it's all up to him.
It is his car in the end. Uh-oh. Rudy.
I think it's time for a re-up. Rudy's Tacos, if you're
I keep throwing these in the box, and I'm just going to I'm gonna throw them out from now on. Because they are
Cody
dry.
Cat 316, welcome.
All right, we got that curve represented.
Let's do it.
I'm going to cut this with the disc because I noticed it was binding up a bit with the bend in it on the Beverly shear.
Thank you. For those of you that are wondering, I can't put on the earmuffs or the eye muffs with only one hand.
The camera dictates everything. Dictates our entire presentation. So this one isn't going to fall down in the car because we have a trough to lay it on. That's why I'm cutting it right on the line this time.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's pop that into place.
And next month, y'all are in for a treat. Heidi is going to be here in March visiting us and doing some work. So you guys will get to see the woman, the myth, the legend, the one who makes it all possible for us to have a brand. It's cool.
Yep.
I can't wait to see you, Heidi. I'm so excited.
The genuine artiste of our merchandise.
Oh, trying to get a hold of my...
I know, there's a lot going on in this room behind that camera. Just had a fan rush the stage. Security had to take him away. Actually, I could put the welder down in there and put that trough together. Look at that. Easy peasy. Love it. Worked out. Okay, so obviously, a lot more grinding, a lot more welding. Got to do the other side. I mean, the list goes on. But are we getting somewhere?
Yeah.
After what are we at now? 80 minutes?
No, darling,
minutes?
we're at 110. So we're almost 2 hours in.
What?
This is how long, though, our videos are if they weren't unedited.
That's it. I've had enough.
They're
I order
about 2
every one of
hours.
you to go and get a refreshment. And we'll take some questions.
And a lot of folks are joining that are just getting off work. Hi, everyone. When we're done, you can go back to the beginning. Heidi said I need snacks. Oh,
There it is. This is not Victor. This is Lance Roussel. Lance Roussel's evil twin, okay?
yay.
This hand's on the wheel.
Gotta
There
be.
you go. Perfect. I rest my case. You think Rome was built in a day? I do not. We got a part of a windshield made. You can see their center line right here.
And stay on, everyone. We're gonna do a little Q&A afterwards. Ian goes to the computer.
Yeah, I'll read some stuff. So just so everyone's familiar with this whole thing, there's these cool gasket materials that Victor has that will plug in here, but we want this room because the glass is going to be way thicker than the paper. And just saying, when we come with our center line, you know, the other side, those are going to V-butt right there, really neat. So that's, and then, yeah, we get a center detail and build a little perch for this and build and build and build and build and build until it's done.
So do you want to share part, well, you did the other day, but part of Ian's angst with building cars is how they're never
done. And
done.
this car looks like something. There's 100 billion. There's still the amount of time I put in this car to build it. There's that many hours left to finish it. So
It's crazy.
yeah, this is just approaching the halfway point. There's a million loose ends.
But that's what makes them custom.
Yeah.
So neat.
And you see it. You see Victor's cars in the end. It's a lot of time. So let's see where we're at. All right.
Ooh. Ian
All
looking
right.
at Ian, looking at Ian, looking at Ian.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And you know,
see.
you can always scroll up too if you feel like looking. Or those of you that are here, drop your questions.
Proteus Maximus is asking how far you extend. We love some of these names.
Y'all got some great screen names.
Sir Maximus, if I may. How far can you extend the welding wire and still make a good weld? Pretty far. The way I was able to go down into that trough is because the shielding gas is a critical element. So the nozzle of the MIG welders is blowing this argon CO2 mix. So it's going down into the trough. There's no breeze. So that wire came out about an inch or so. Breezy day. You need a good solid weld. You want to keep that nozzle close to the surface. Yeah. Yeah. Andy's Dream Hot Rods and Stuff says finishing and paint takes 90% of the time. This is the rough fabrication. So if that's only 10%, Victor's crew is in for a ride.
Heidi asked a question.
Where is it?
What
is your recommended shielding gas ratio? For steel, for mild steel, somebody mentioned it before, the 75, 25%. Let's go to the sticker on the tank.
And Danny Smith, Amazon. Just look up round, goofy looking reading glasses.
That's really what I did.
They're readers.
Funny men's reading glasses.
Yeah.
They actually work. So argon, 75%. Carbon dioxide, 25%. So that's your standard steel mix, they call. You'll run straight argon or even helium on aluminum. Stainless steel has some other things. You can use straight CO2 for simple gates and steel welding. Yeah, it's a science.
And I think your name is Ben. About the pinstriping, send us an email. Send us some of your art, and then we could talk and see what's going on.
Yeah. Do you think Victor will use an old school dash mounted rear view mirror? Yeah, possibly. What this Robert is mentioning is there's a rear view mirror that sits right on the dash. In convertibles, you see it pretty frequently. Yeah. Jason Shaw is asking the gas flow rate. 20 CFM is kind of the standard. I'll show you here on the flow meter. If it's breezy, you could bump it up a little bit. Right here is where we want to look.
Okay, sorry. I forget. Sometimes I get lost.
So cubic feet per hour. So this dials it in. This is just your tank pressure. That shows you how much you got in the, hold the nozzle and dial it to 20. That's a good base As you hit it, see it'll come down. Right about there is perfect. 20, 23-ish. I got wire sticking. So,
Funny.
yeah. That's what I learned in welding school, and it works for me all these years later.
I'm very amazed at how you went to welding school and how much like that kind of stuff you remember. Because working as an RN, I don't know, it's just kind of some deep knowledge that I could articulate, but not always.
No ideas asking if they know the color of the caddy. That is Victor's secret. We're gonna
Yeah,
have
he
to-
has some colors
Yep.
he's thinking of, but he doesn't want me to tell anyone.
Jim Walker's asking, how long do the tanks usually last? I weld quite a bit, but it's all about how much you do work. So maybe 2 tanks a year, maybe 3. So a long time. Yeah, there's a lot of gas in that tank. Seriously,
Oh my gosh.
It's getting low, though.
So many jokes.
it's getting low. All right.
And Demo, he said, which car was that? The 60s bug or whatever? I couldn't hear it on my iMuffs. The car you wish you would have never gotten rid of.
68 bug with the hand crank sunroof, rust free in New York. Pretty rare.
Yeah.
Part of
Danny,
that.
it's magic. He said, what happened to your green glasses?
I got options.
This is the man I married, you guys.
No, it's because I told everybody for the newcomers. Jamie introduced me to reading glasses, and I said I hate the idea, but they work so well that if I am bound to reading glasses for the rest of my life, there's going to be a ridiculous collection. So don't take it serious. How are we feeling? It's been a long run today.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for
I'm satisfied
an
with our
adult
progress.
beverage.
Today is Wednesday. We're trying to get this car on the trailer on Saturday. So the windshield is there. Trough, the second half will take a lot less time. I got to do the passenger side, or I got to do the driver's side skirt, and then the latch on the deck lid. And this car is off to the rodeo.
Yeah. And Smokey, probably a few months. Victor's trying to get this car potentially to West Coast Customs end of May. He's got everything lined up for it. I'm sure he has stuff waiting there for it. So could just be a few months. So anyway, just to let everyone know, next Wednesday, no live because I'm taking my mom to the doctor and I'll be gone all day with her. So she's doing fine. She's A-okay. It's just an old lady checkup.
Maintenance is
Take her
everything.
to. And I love her dearly. And we have to go down the pass, and she doesn't like to drive in the mountains. So I'm going to take my mama and spend the day. So anyway, no live. We'll see you guys the following week. And we have new videos this week dropping. We'll just do one more.
Check out Alan and Laura.
Oh, yes. Check out SoFab. They always have new videos on Friday, and now they're doing lives on Saturday, which is awesome. I love that like all these builders have come to YouTube and have different days and different stuff that they're doing. It's so amazing.
You'll remember Alan from some of the most epic builds on Full Custom. So yeah, he's a cool cat. He's got the skills. Him and his wife Laura are making it happen on the tube.
And Heidi just dropped Gene Winfield's official Shopify. Gene is doing well. He's in good hands. All of the proceeds from his store go directly to his trust, which pays for his care. Don't listen to any other rumors on the internet because I know exactly what is going on with that man pretty much on a daily. And then we have a video coming out this week of that.
We got one of the Zephyr and one of the Bug.
Yeah.
You're in the editing bay as we speak.
Yeah. And Alan and Lara, thanks for sticking in for 2 hours. Love you guys. Go to the store.
Take a break.
10% off in the store. Use the code word BUMPER, BUMPER, lowercase. Get you 10% off. And I'll put it in the description of the vid. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let me turn around.
That being said.
Hold on, wait.
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
Ooh.
I'm going to go out like it came in. Hold on, wait.
Get the Bug in the background. Shall I?
Oh, hold on, those glasses there.
Speaking of epic glasses.
Okay. Happy
match the Bug.
Valentine's Day, everyone.
Cheers.
Big love.
Thanks for joining.
See you later.
See you next time.
Oop. my finger.
I know, cool.